3 weeks ago, my cat Leo vanished. I spent 4 panicked hours shaking treats in the rain before finding him locked in a neighbor's shed. That nightmare sent me down a rabbit hole of cat trackers. Honestly, most of them are terrible. You deal with bulky devices, bad batteries, or hidden fees. You absolutely do not want to figure that out while your cat is missing. I bought and tested the top options to see what actually works. Stick around for number 1 because it completely changed how I keep Leo safe. 5. Tractive Smart Cat GPS Tracker. I mean, on paper, this thing sounds exactly like what you want when you are panicking about a lost pet. It promises real-time location tracking and even wellness monitoring, so you can see how much your cat is sleeping or playing. Well, I strapped this onto Leo and immediately noticed a few things. The marketing makes it look sleek, but in reality, it has a very specific footprint that might not work for every feline friend out there. Let me explain the physical design a bit more because this is where the frustration starts. The tracker is slightly curved to fit a neck, but it is frankly quite bulky for an average-sized cat. Leo was about 10 pounds and he kept scratching at it for the first 3 days. You know, it just looks uncomfortable, like he is wearing a tiny backpack on his throat. It comes with a breakaway collar, which is great for safety, but the device itself just awkwardly protrudes and easily gets snagged on low branches when he explores the bushes. Then we have the tracking accuracy, which is the whole point, right? Outside in the open yard, it does a decent job updating every few seconds in live mode. But once Leo goes under a dense canopy of trees or wanders into a neighbor's garage, the signal just drops. I spent 20 minutes looking for him because the app said he was 2 streets over when he was actually just asleep under my own porch. 4. Tabcat V2 Cat and Kitten Tracker. This one takes a completely different approach from the others on this list. Instead of GPS or cellular data, it uses radio frequency technology to locate your pet. You get a little remote control the size of a credit card and 2 small tags for the collars. While the setup is basically zero, which is nice, and you do not have to worry about downloading another app or creating an account, the tags themselves are incredibly lightweight. You know, compared to the bulky GPS units, this is practically a feather. Leo did not even notice when I slipped it onto his collar. That is a huge plus if you have a small cat or a young kitten who would be weighed down by a heavier device. They also include a little splash-proof silicone case to protect the tag from dew or light rain. I mean, the physical hardware for the pet is actually quite well designed and cat-friendly. But here's what matters when it comes to actually finding your cat. The remote uses a series of beeps and flashing lights that guide you in the right direction, getting faster and louder as you get closer. It's basically a high-tech game of hot and cold. The problem is that they advertise a range of up to 500 feet, but let me explain what that actually means. That's strictly clear line of sight. Number 3. Pet Locate GPS Tracker for cats. Now we are getting into devices that start to actually solve the problems we are facing. This is a true GPS tracker that gives you unlimited range, meaning as long as there's cell service, you can find your cat, whether they're in the backyard or hiding out in the next town over. Well, right out of the box, I noticed it felt much more durable than some of the cheaper plastic options I've held. The setup process here is surprisingly smooth. You know, sometimes you buy these tech gadgets and spend 2 hours trying to pair Bluetooth and reset passwords. Not with this one. The companion app is straightforward, and within 10 minutes, I had a safe zone set up around my property. Whenever Leo crosses that invisible fence, I get a notification on my phone. I mean, it is just nice when technology actually behaves the way the manufacturer promises it will. Let me explain how the live tracking feels, because it is a significant step up. When I put it in pursuit mode, the map updates fast enough to actually follow a moving cat. I watched Leo's little dot creep along the fence line and then stop at the bird feeder. When I went outside to check, he was sitting exactly where the app said he was. The peace of mind that comes from that level of accuracy is honestly priceless when you have a pet that likes to roam. 2. Weenect Cat XS GPS tracker for cats. I have to say this one completely surprised me. They advertise this as the smallest GPS cat tracker in the world. And, well, I think they might actually be right. When you take it out of the box, it looks impossibly tiny. It is shaped differently than the others, kind of tall rather than wide, but it wraps onto the collar beautifully. Finally, a GPS company realized that cats are not just small dogs. I mean, the weight difference is massive. Leo is incredibly picky about things touching his neck, and he usually spends a day trying to kick new collars off. With the Weenect, he just gave it a quick sniff and walked away. The silicone mount holds the little pebble securely against the collar, so it does not dangle or dip into his water bowl when he drinks. It is very clear that a lot of thought went into the everyday ergonomics of this device. Here's what matters the most, though. The tracking performance is absolutely stellar. It updates position every single second in super live mode. I am not exaggerating when I say you can literally watch your cat walk across the yard on your screen in real time. You know, there's no weird lag where the dot jumps 50 feet at a time. It traces a smooth path so you can see exactly which bushes they prefer or which neighbor's yard they're visiting. Odokele Reflective AirTag Cat Collar. Now, I know what you're thinking. An AirTag is not a dedicated pet tracker. Well, you're right, but let me explain why this specific collar and AirTag combo beats every expensive GPS unit on the market for most people. First off, you buy the AirTag once, and that's it. There are absolutely zero monthly subscriptions or hidden fees ever. You just pop it into this specially designed collar, and you're done. The Odokele collar itself is incredibly impressive. I mean, a lot of AirTag holders just dangle off a ring like a heavy keychain, which cats absolutely hate. This collar integrates a secure silicone pouch right into the band. The AirTag sits flush against the neck, completely protected from water and scratches. It also has a bright, reflective strip for night visibility and a proper breakaway buckle. If Leo gets snagged on a fence, the collar snaps open safely so he won't get hurt. You know, the real magic here is the Apple Find My network. Instead of relying on patchy cell service, your cat's collar sends out a secure Bluetooth signal that gets picked up by any passing phone or tablet. In a neighborhood or city, this means you have a massive invisible search party working for you constantly. Every time a neighbor walks their dog or a delivery driver drops off a package, their phone secretly updates your cat's exact location on your map. That's all for today, folks.